Hey, welcome back, knife nerds and everyday care people. It's your boy Big Connector here, back with another another budget offering. Holy cow! Spit it out. All right. Yeah, she seems like she's been the budget week here. So I thought I would throw another one at you, and a knife that, even though I've owned it for a little bit, I just haven't had the opportunity to carry it a whole lot. But what I do see of it, I really like. Let me clean this off here. Got a little bit of schmutz there, I guess, a little bit of pivot lube. Bothered the hell out of me there when I look at it. All right. This is your Ruike Knives P108 SF. And I'm not sure what SF stands for. In this, I think it stands for Stonewashed Flipper. I think that's what it is. It could be steel-handled flipper, but I think it's actually stone-washed flipper, and I think that is what it stands for. I know when I get called an SF, it stands for stupid. Well, you know, imagine what my wife calls me. She calls me an SF sometimes. All right, Ruike Knives P108 SF, an all stainless steel offering here from Ruike Knives Canada. Now, Ruike Knives, I do believe that Ruike Knives actually is a flashlight company, Phoenix Flashlights, and I guess they decided to get into the knife business, and I think they've been offering a wonderful, thoughtful set of knives designed by somebody who I think really knows what they're talking about and knows what they're doing here, and I do believe. Now, don't quote me 100%, but I think these knives are actually made, well, they're Chinese knives for sure, but I think they're made in the same factory as the Ganzo knives. If I am right, or if I'm wrong, better yet, if I'm wrong, put in the comments actually where these knives are built, or which factory these knives are built. If they are built in the Ganzo factory, you know what, they've got really good fit and finish. And like I said, a really nice, thoughtful design. Really impressive. Holy cow, my phone's going off there and whistling at me. All right, so let's go over this here a little bit. All right, so she's a flipping knife, a little over 8 inches long, 8.27 inches. Closed length is 4.72, so you're sub 5 inches. A good looking blade. I'm not sure if I mentioned that a little bit. 4.16 ounces. So, you know what? A decent weight for a all stainless steel construction knife. So I haven't taken this apart, but I would imagine if you look inside there, she's probably machined out there. And that's something that anybody who makes a budget knife, I think they've got it now. Most people, they look at the outside and that's as far as they go. But I think anybody who's serious about knife making and knife designing realizes that weight is an issue and a factor. The balance of the knife and, the fact that you have to carry it. So if you're taking the time on a $50 knife to machine all the insides, I think that you care about the product that you're selling. And every Ruike knife that I've owned or handled has been a really decent little knife, and not just for the money, just a decent knife. So I think they're doing a really good job, and I look forward to seeing a whole lot more of offerings down the road. All right, so it's actually a frame lock flipper, and as you can see there, she's got a little bit of jimping there to make your lock a little bit easier to grasp. And now the one thing it does have that really kind of bugs the heck out of me is this little beta lock here. And I guess that's designed so you can't now unlock the knife. It's, I guess, a safety item to be as solid as I guess not as solid as a fixed blade, but they want you to have a little measure of safety more. And to me, every once in a while, it just kind of gets accidentally triggered. I go to close a knife and I can't, and it kind of irritates me. I mean, if you've got a really good solid frame lock, and you can see this one here has got plus 50% lockup, you hold on to your knife, there's absolutely no way that this knife is going to go anywhere. This is not going to come down on your fingers, so I think perhaps they could maybe lose this a little bit and still be all right. maybe save them a little bit of money in their manufacturing cost, and then therefore save me a little bit of money too as well. All right, so she's a ball bearing pivot, so extremely smooth knife. Not quite drop shut, but who knows if this down the road will break in. You know, it shakes shut. Doesn't drop shut. You know, it shakes shut. Well, try saying that fast 26 times in a row. Who knows if it will break in a little bit more and then become a lot more drop shutty, but for now it's more kind of a shake shut. And it does fire though with authority, and it has a really, really nice sound when it does fire. So they've done something right there with this design. Now your pocket clip here too as well is another, I think it's a very polarizing pocket clip. It's kind of got that wideness, and I mean, if you look here, it's got the pocket clip works well, and I like the blue accent on it. I just don't know if I'm crazy with how wide it is. I think they could have gone with a nice slim pocket clip, and I think it would have been more aesthetically pleasing. Try saying that fast 5 times. It would have been more aesthetically pleasing, and I think it would have made this knife just better damn looking. So you've got your backspacer here too as well, which is aluminum backspacer, and that backspacer is your actual lanyard hole. So I mean, it's because it's black against the stainless steel, you don't notice it when you first look at this knife. You don't really notice that it's got that backspacer on it. If they wanted to maybe make this a lot flashier, if they would have made it like red or something, it would have really popped. But I guess some people like the understated look. This is, I would say, kind of a gentleman's carry too as well. This is not going to be your heavy duty cut up carpet knife. I think it's going to be more, you put it in your pocket and you head to out to dinner with your sweetie, and if you need to cut a thread or something, it's there. Not that this doesn't cut. It just seems to be designed more as a gentleman's carry than an actual heavy duty, heavy use carry. All right. Blade length 3.46 inches, which is, I think, right in the zone where you want to have an everyday carry knife. Not quite fully flat ground, but pretty, I guess, a kind of a high saber ground. So it is, a really, really good slicer. It's got, I think, one of the best budget steels that is out there, the 14C28N at the 58 to 60 Rockwell. So it's right where it should be for 14C28N. It takes an edge really, really well. And it holds an edge decently well. It is a stainless steel, kind of a tough steel, and it does have decent edge holding ability for being a budget knife. Certainly a lot better than the 8CR13 MOV, which is my kryptonite. I just wish there was more Spyderco guys emailing Spyderco saying, get rid of the 8CR13 MOV, give me some 14C28N. I guess we could maybe start a letter writing campaign. Who knows if that would work or not. But, all right. So, yeah, plain edge, brushed finish. The handle material is 3CR14N, which I know absolutely nothing about other than it is stainless steel itself, and it seems to be quite tough and seems to be quite nice. So, now if you have a look here, your flipper tab does stick out just a smidge, but when you've got, this is kind of the wide point of your knife, and you can see that the flipper tab sticks out just a smidge more. So you're not going to have to worry about that kind of snagging on things when it's going in and out of your pocket, or when you're reaching in your pocket to grab something. I don't think you have to worry too much about that flipper tab getting in the way. I don't think it's a giant pocket pecker at all. All right. So let's go with a little bit of size comparison here real quick before we wrap this up. Of course, you've got your Big Daddy Paramilitary 2, which is, I'm going to say there's ever so close. The Ruike is a little bit skinnier, of course, but they're very, very close to the same size. And of course, you've got your Dragonfly 2 and the ZDP 189. So that gives you an idea of kind of the size of this beauty. Alrighty, so let's put those away. Alright, now, I guess one of the knocks that I have on this knife is, very, very slippery, very, very smooth. No texturing on here whatsoever, and she's a little bit angular too as well. You know, it fits okay in the hand for size wise, but I wonder about some of these hot spots here. As you can see, she's a little bit on the front here. She's a little bit. There's no jipping here at all. So I mean, if your hands get wet or greasy, or you've got something on them, I would imagine this would be a little bit hard to hold on to if you had some heavy cutting tasks. Even though this is not your heavy cutting blade, sometimes you have to, cut something, maybe in a bit of an emergency situation, and you want a little bit more jimping or a little bit more purpose on there too as well. I think that's kind of a knock on it. And the other thing that drives me crazy is, I'm not sure if you can hear it. I'm going to hold this up to the microphone, but it's got a little bit of a rasp when it closes. Now, I would imagine that is your ball bearing here, or your detent ball against your blade, and it's got kind of a weird sound and it drives me crazy. Let's just have a look here, see if you guys can hear it. It drives me crazy. I've really put a lot of lube here in the detent ball to hopefully try to get rid of that, and I can't. It doesn't matter what I do. As you can see, here's a little bit of lube leaking out because I really put the lube to it to see if I can get rid of it, but to no avail. So I guess there's a couple of things I might do. Is one is just open and close the knife 656 million times and hopefully it goes away. Or I might even break the knife open, get a little bit of polish and polish that detent ball track and see if I can get rid of that sound. It might give me something to do one of these days. But other than that, I think it's a great offering. This is a $50 Canadian, which is, I think, a whole lot of knife for the price. And I think you're looking in the States at somewhere around the high 30s, $35 to $37. If you see one of these, don't be afraid to pull the trigger. I think on most Ruike knives, especially if you're looking for a really quality budget folder, I don't think you can go wrong with the Ruike knives. Now they're offering some fixed blades as well as some kind of multi-tools too as well. So one of these days when things get settled and things get straightened out, I think I might decide to look at one of these multi-tool knives just to throw in my backpack and just to try out. It's very intriguing to me. All right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, the Big Canucker score for this knife is, I'm going to say it's probably a 7 out of 10. I'm going to hit it for being, I think, a little bit too smooth. I'm going to hit it for this jimping here too, for the lack of jimping all over, and also that raspiness drives me crazy. So 7 out of 10, which is still a decent score. Something I think you want to put in your collection, and I think something that you want to try out. All right, so thanks for stopping by. If you like what you saw, please subscribe and hit the like button, and leave me any sort of comments that you want about this video or this knife or anything life in general. I may not get back to you right that second, but I will get back to you for sure, and I appreciate it so much. Your comments have been wonderful, and I appreciate them so much. So please stay safe out there. Keep your stick on the ice, the shiny side up. This is the Big Canucker saying adios.